So, I asked you about Bitcoin. I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of what Bitcoin is, what the blockchain is. But you know what, I don't want to stand up here and speak the entire time. I know y'all have a lot of questions about this. So I'm going to, what they call in training, flip the room and answer any question that I can about Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, what have you. So Bitcoin is a virtual currency. It's a digital currency, right? You hold up $1, that's paper. What's it backed by? What backs the US dollar or any other dollar? It used to be backed by gold back in the 70s, but Nixon took it off the gold standard and made it back on the full faith and credit of the United States. Now, I didn't know your politics or you about government or if you're a conspiracy theorist, all that's fine. The bottom line is, it's backed on policies and rules being made by people. And people may have ulterior motives, and one of them is greed. Okay? So if you're backing something that's backed by greed or policy, what's going to happen? When that house of cards falls down, you are left with a shamble of debt, of issues, and a lot of bankruptcies and foreclosures. It was said that when? 2008. When the policies that created the housing market, the housing boom, led to a huge crash. And one of the reasons why Bitcoin was created by a persona called Satoshi Nakamoto was because there was such distrust in the financial institution that he created or she created or they created a virtual currency designed to circumvent that whole process. So how does that work? Each one of you banks with a bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, SunTrust, whatever it is, or your credit union, or whatever it is, right? That's a centralized source of your information, your money, your everything. Everything goes through them. You have no idea where your information is stored, how it's being used, etc., etc., etc. So, how do you create a currency that's not being organized and run by a centralized organization? You let the people run it. Well, how do you let people run billions and trillions of dollars in currency? Well, you give them the ability to authorize and validate everything. And you do it publicly. So there can't be any misuse or fraud, or there can't be any duplication or any type of untoward actions towards your money. And that's where the blockchain comes in. How many of you guys think the first cryptocurrency was invented in 2008? Raise your hands.
What's the question?
How many of you think the first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, was created in 2008? I'm going to tell you how long this has been going on. This has been going on since 1988. The first cryptocurrency was theorized and attempted way back then. So if you guys think that Bitcoin and this stuff is a flash in the pan, no. This pan goes back way back, right? Hashcash, Bitgold, all of them were created back then, and they failed for a number of reasons. But when Satoshi Nakamoto took Bitcoin and used the blockchain for validation, well, that created everything. That just blew the roof off them, right? So now, people always ask me, Eric, what's the blockchain? So it's a difficult question to answer, technically speaking, because it has a lot of moving parts when it comes to code and cryptology and things of that nature. But here's the bottom line. If I ask all of you, how does your cell phone actually work? How many of you can tell me how your cell phone actually works? Very few. But you use it every day, right? You're texting, you're calling, you're Facebooking, you're tweeting, you're Instagramming on your cell phone. So you don't have to understand the inner workings of the technology, but you need to understand how to use it. So let me tell you, generally speaking, how it works. And I use it as a trainer. What I do is I use examples we already know and superimpose them on what is being used for that technology. So, how many of you own a house? Or have owned a house? Raise your hands. Okay, that's pretty much most of you, right? So when you got the closing, or when you just before closing, you had to do a title search, right? And the title company you hired had to go back and search from the beginning of time when that house was built on that land and search all the records and make sure that all of the titles passed were clear. If one of them was not clear, what would happen to your closing?